Hey Joey, I hope that A, the video quality is better, B, the audio quality is better, C, I'm not in slow motion, and D, there is sound on this video. You know, we're testing and using a new piece of technology today. My phone is here in my hand for any necessary Googling, Goodreads going, any other thing I might want to do while making a video. Here I am, it's grand. It appears that I am not in slow motion and that there will be audio on this third round of this. That's what you do when you test new things and you refuse to read user manuals. So anyway, I have acquired a collection of books here over the last week or so. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about them, tell you where I got them from, and the past two times I did this, the first time in slow motion and the second time with no audio, I didn't do them in order of where I got them from. But this time I think I am. Starting out with The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. I like Holly Black's writing. That's not typically something that I say because I don't pay attention a ton to writing style in general. I'm looking for the stuff in the words as opposed to the way that the words are. But I've found that with Holly Black, I just like all of it because I liked The Cruel Prince, I liked Book of Night. I'm enjoying it all. This, I had originally decided not to read because I looked at the Goodreads reviews, not actual reviews, just the number, but I no longer believe in Goodreads reviews. I will continue to do them, but I am not letting them dictate my life anymore because I like a lot of stuff that people don't. Because I'm paying attention to what's happening in the words and not the way that the words are. Anyway, this is about a girl who lives in a walled city, which is a kind of city that they call cold towns. And there are monsters and humans, predator and prey, and one day she wakes up surrounded by corpses. But not her ex-boyfriend. He's not dead, it seems. Oh, and there's another boy. Maybe it's a love triangle. But anyway, I'm excited to read this. It was $6.50, but Marshall bought it for me, so it was free. This next one was also free. 11/22/63. This is a Stephen King novel. It is 850 pages long. It's got JFK on the front, JFK on the back. I do not know what it is about. I'm not going to read the description. I reckon it has something to do with JFK. I know that it's historical fiction. That's all I know about it. Well, I guess I know that it's historical, and I'm pretty sure it's not nonfiction. I just said I wasn't going to read the description. I don't know why I was reading it. But I am one day going to read this. My parents have read every Stephen King book. I don't read horror, so that's about the closest I'm gonna get. But Destiny keeps talking about it, and I don't remember if she's read it at this point or not, but that was the one that kept sticking in my brain, and my parents had 2 copies, and so now I have one. This next one, The Dagger and the Flame, was my book of the month pick. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get a book of the month this month, but I read through all the little descriptions and some of the, this is why I liked this book by the Book of the Month staff, and this one, it says, in the dark underbelly of a beautiful city, 2 rival gang members are pitted against each other in a deadly game of duty and revenge in which the most dangerous mistake is falling in love. So it's 2 assassins, I think, or a thief and an assassin, and they're sent to, I think, off one another, or one of them is sent to off the other one. And it's got a map. I discovered this during one of the rounds of this video that didn't make it. It's got a map. I think it might be YA because it's priced at $21.99, which is a YA hardcover price, as opposed to $29.99, which I feel like is what they priced the adult hardbacks on. Am I making that up? I don't know. I kind of hope it's YA, because then, I don't know. I just prefer that kind of story in a YA. I don't know. These next 2 I picked up at our local romance bookstore, HEA. The first one was this copy of The Chase. I went in there for the other book that I got there, but I have these copies, like these covers of both Off Campus and the third and fourth book in the Briar U series. The Play and the Dare, I believe is what they're called, but I didn't have this one, The Chase, and I don't have the Risk. And I'd been sort of scoping out the half-price books looking for them because I do want to have the matching set, but I wasn't like so obsessed with the Briar U series that I felt the need to like hunt them down by any means. And I saw that the owner of that bookstore had posted that she had gotten these covers by mistake and if anyone was like on the hunt for them. And I said that I like said to myself that I wasn't gonna have her put it to the side for me. But then I happened in there looking for something else and she still had it, and that felt like the universe telling me that I needed it. So don't have to put it on the TBR. I already read it on my Kindle, but I now have that. This is what I went in there for. The Kiss Curse, because this is going to be a long story. I listened to the Ex-Hex on Spotify. It was 7 hours and 23 minutes long. If you don't know this about Spotify audiobooks, if you have a premium membership, you get 15 free hours of audiobook listening. And it will cut you off. And so I knew that I had 7 hours and 37 minutes of listening time, and I saw that they also had the Kiss Curse on there. And I really enjoyed the Ex-Hex. It was like the perfect sort of spooky season read. I thought it was really fun. I had a great time, and so I wanted to read this. Because I was just like doing chores and stuff. I just wanted to have something in my ears. I wanted to listen to it. But the audiobook of this is 7 hours and 45 minutes long. And so I knew that I was playing a dangerous game of Spotify Chicken, where there was a chance that I would get cut off before the last chapter. Because they're not totally evil, and they'll let you finish whatever chapter you make it to with your 15 hours, or whatever is left of your listening time. And so I wasn't willing to do all of the math to figure out if I would make it to the last chapter, but I knew I would either get cut off for the ending credits or I would get cut off for the final chapter and the ending credits based on the time frame. And so I went to HEA hoping that they had this, and they did. So that in the event that I lost Spotify Chicken, I could read the last chapter with my eyeballs and be able to finish the book, quite frankly. And I knew that I wanted a copy of it to match my copy of the Ex-Hex on my shelf. And the new one comes out literally tomorrow. So that was all lovely and dandy. But I won my game of Spotify Chicken. I got to listen to the last chapter. Didn't get to listen to the credits, but I did get to listen to the last chapter. And so that felt victorious, and it was great. And this was both purchased and crossed off the TBR on the same day. So that was also lovely. Then I went a little bit crazy at the Barnes & Noble. But I had a gift card. It didn't cover everything, but I also used the money that I made by selling some stuff to Plato's Closet to purchase them. So kind of, they were all free. Because money I make at Plato's Closet is free money I have been given, despite the fact that I had originally paid for those clothes that I then sold, but now, because I have worn them, it's just free money. So, free books is the way that I like to think about it. This first one was the reason I went to the Barnes & Noble. I wanted to get Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks because I saw this in a bookstore in like late August, I want to say, and I read the back of it and it seemed really cute and interesting, but I had like so many romance books I was thinking about reading, and I knew I was heading into fall when I was going to be reading more fantasy and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't need to buy it, blah 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 blah. There are a bunch of romance books I want to buy, but I don't need to buy all of them. But I couldn't stop thinking about it, and then Rachel bought it, and then Rachel was going to read it, and so I wanted it, and so I bought it. This is following a shy undertaker and this lady who moved from Texas to Galway to restart her career. And I just think it's gonna be so funny. Like, I don't know. Fun for like the spooky season without being inherently spooky, you know? Then this I bought because it was pretty. And I gotta stop just willy-nilly buying books with cool sprayed edges or other pretty adornments on them, but that's how I ended up with the dragon sprayed edge copy of Fourth Wing, so maybe it's fine. I got this copy. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig. Erin A. Craig's Small Favors is what we're reading for book club this month, and so she was top of mind, and this copy has gold, shiny sprayed edges. How could I not buy it? I did briefly read the description, and it's got like gothic elements. It says, Hazel has always known she wasn't like her siblings, a 13th child promised to one of the gods. She spends her childhood waiting for her benefactor, Merrick, the god of death, to arrive and take her away. And I'm loving the gothic thing for fall right now after reading One Dark Window. This is gonna look beautiful next to my copy of Small Favors, and so I purchased it. What can I say? And then finally, the book gods were really listening to me, because I got the box set of Belladonna in hardcover. I had literally been saying to Rachel as we were walking through the Barnes & Noble that I wanted to read Belladonna once I finished the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, which I am about to finish. I was telling her about it and how I think I want to listen to them, but I also want to own them. However, I had missed out on getting Belladonna in hardcover because it had gone to paperback, and I'd been looking at the half-price books to get it, but it's a popular series right now, I couldn't find it, and that would probably mean that I was gonna have to wait for it to come into paperback so that they were all paperback, and I was sad because I know how beautiful these hardcovers are, and then we spotted this box set sitting on the shelf. So I peeked at it like this, like from the top, because I wanted to see if they had the pretty hardcovers, like the naked covers under the dust jackets, and I could tell that for This is Wisteria and This is Foxglove that they were clearly, my camera is freaking out trying to focus on this, but I could tell that these two had stuff printed on them, but this one looked white and like it was plain, and Rachel's copy of Belladonna has a plain naked cover, and she thought it was because she had missed out on them having something pretty printed on them, but then we thought maybe they just never had anything pretty printed on them. And oh, were we wrong! So this is what the naked cover of Belladonna looks like. It also has these beautiful end pages, and then the back of it, more beautiful end pages. Another beautiful, like the back of it has the little, oh, they're so pretty. I'm going to show you all of them. They're not currently in their actual box. They came in an actual box, but I took them out because I'm displaying them because they are so beautiful. So this is what Foxglove looks like. End pages. End pages. Hardback. And then Wisteria. Stunning, beautiful. I say that I don't judge books by their covers, but I'm just blatantly lying to everyone, because if a book has a pretty cover or pretty art on it, the likelihood that I buy it goes up by like a factor of 20. And so those are all the books that I have acquired over the last week or so. I also got my Owl Crate at some point, but I think that was earlier in the month. I am trying to be better about buying books willy-nilly and putting them on my TBR, but I am both a book collector and a book reader, and so it is what it is. I am really excited to read almost every single one of those books over the next, like, 3 months as fall turns to winter, because they seem appropriately themed, and Lord knows that I prefer to read books that I have just acquired rather than books that I have had for a while. But you know what? At least I'm reading them. If you're not Joey, and you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to. I'm here every once in a while, making videos for Joey,